Hey guys, I'm Jeff the Homestead Dad, and I'm out in the shop today. Shop's not totally set up, but it's good enough for what we need to do today. My main goal is to get this set up so that we can have an automatic chicken door. This is the Motor Model D20 chicken coop motor. And I'm going to put this out a couple times later this year. We're going to be going away for a few days. I like to make it as easy as possible for homestead sitters to do things. This being able to open up and close the chicken coop will be perfect. They'll have water and food, and the people will come like once a day instead of having to come early in the morning, let out the chickens after dark, close up the chickens. But before we can get to this, you guys know what this is? It's not that. It's a leg to our piano bench. And I don't know if you guys can see that there, but the tightener that goes into this, it's stripped out. So I am going to go ahead, drill a new hole in here so that we can pull this leg tight so we can use the piano bench, because the kids have been playing a bunch of piano lately, been having a lot of fun. I'm super impressed with my kids and how much piano they learn. Like, they're learning, a friend of ours is teaching them piano, but then they're also doing a great job of finding a song they like, going and finding a tutorial on it, and learning how to play it. So that is very cool. Let's get this done first. I am just going to measure down how far the hole is. It is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and measure down 1.5 inches here. I'm just going to mark it with a razor knife, put a little divot in there. And then I'm going to find, I got to grab some drill bits. See if I can find the right size. That's gonna be still probably gonna be too small, but I'm gonna start with an even smaller one for a pilot hole. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this going here. Okay. Now, I need to hold this like that, and this like this. Well, that's a pretty good start. There's one. Let's move up to this one. Now, I don't want to go too far, so I'm gonna be real ginger with this. Let's see what it is. That's probably not far enough. That's probably too far. But let's see if I can get this started now. Oh, it's going in. It's super nice and snug. Let's this isn't gonna come out now. I mean, you get a vice grips to pull this out. Alrighty then. So I'm gonna take this wing nut off, maybe. So this wing nut will come off like that. You can see it's when you're tightening it on, the threads stop so that you can tighten it. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can put this on here without ruining any of the threading, and then work it back out. There we go. So that should come off pretty easily now. I think I'm gonna go up one drill bit size and see if that does it. So out. This is 1/4 inch. Let's see. That one may actually be too small, but I want it to be big. So we're gonna 1/4 inch is all good. Which is just a smidge bigger than what we got on here. Still pretty stinking tight. I just don't want to get too big. I think I'm gonna go with this and then just tighten it down and hope that we're good then, because I don't want to loosen it up too much. So let's take this out, put it in the bench, and see what happens. Okay, so here is our piano bench. The offending leg goes right in here. let's see if I can get this to work. Let's see. I don't want to tighten it up too far. Ah, so close. Need something else. Let's see if I can make this work. There we go. It's pulling up tight now. Here's what we don't want to do, is over tighten it. That looks pretty firm. I think we're good. Well, that is one project done. Okay, now on to the add a Coop motor. This is actually the mounting plate, I think. Yeah. So you screw this tab into the wall. You see there's a place there where you can put a screw, and then this slides in here like this. There's a track, I think. Yep, track like this, and then there's a little button here that stops the stops it from sliding up or down, so it locks it in place like that. Now this is the part that does the work. Excuse me. This is the part that does the work. So what you need to do is have a timer that has at least 2 ons and 2 offs, because what happens is you plug this in and give it power, and that starts to rotate. And while that's rotating, this wheel, I don't know if you guys can see that in there, that wheel is spinning. And there's fishing line that you tie onto that, so it reels it up. Then when it reaches that spot, it reels it down. Now, if you just had a thing that turned it on at a certain time, it wouldn't work, because now what needs to happen is the power needs to go off. It can be on for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a half an hour, or whatever, but the power needs to go off. So I'm going to unplug it. Unplug. You just heard it go click. Now when I plug it back in again, it goes back down the other way. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but it's going the other way. So that would be it rolling the door and reeling it down, letting out the string. And then it stops. So you can use these wheels, I'm going to unplug it. You can use these wheels to set how far it reels it up and down. You can move them wider or closer if you need a smaller amount of reeling it up. So this is actually the easiest part, right? I just have to mount this 10 inches higher than the door is. I've got to tie this fishing string onto here, and then I use these screws. You can see it's got a little clip in there, and then you use the clip to hold on to the screw that's pulling up the door, such that if something were to get stuck, it releases and doesn't wreck your door, or doesn't wreck your motor, I'm sorry. So that's a good thing. But that means that I need to make sure that I'm not having a door that's wiggling back and forth, because it would get stuck and that would come off, and then the chickens wouldn't be able to get out. So let's go out to the chicken coop and see how big a door we need. So this is actually where the chicken coop door will be. The motor needs to be on the inside. I'm just coming to show you. We screwed this piece of wood. You can see the screws. This is just blocking the door because we had predator problem. So let's go inside and I'll show you where the door is at. So here we are in the chicken coop. This is our Cottage Craftworks roll-out nest box. And there's the door right there. So I'm gonna have to grab a shovel. I'm gonna have to shovel this out a little bit. The whole coop needs to be mucked out. But you can see that I can just run the door inside of those 2x4s and put the motor up here and slide. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably get a couple pieces of 1x and screw them on there to create a track for the door. But yeah, that should work. So let's get to it. Smells outstanding. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I designed it this way. I don't know if you can see, there's about a 4-inch lip from here to there where the siding is still intact. So from there to there is the actual opening of the door. So when the door slides down, it will go down below that bottom edge, and anything outside, skunk, possum, fox, whatever, will not be able to get their paws, their claws, anything underneath the edge of the door. So it should be perfectly impenetrable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure a couple inches down on the overlap here, measure the door frame, and then we'll measure up 15 inches, and that'll be the size of the door that we need to cut, and then that'll also be the length of the rails that I need to make. It's cold out, so the door itself is going to need to be 14 1/8 inches wide. That's in between the studs, and then 16 inches tall. So 16 plus 15 will give me my 31 inches. Don't do math on camera, folks. 31 inches is where I will need to mount that motor. And then I can start adjusting the string and stuff like that. Right now, I need to find a piece of board that's 14 1/2 inches or close wide. Let's go do that. Okay, so I looked around the barn, I was looking through our wood piles, our siding, stuff like that, and I did find a small piece of siding that I have. It is, I think, 20 inches long, so I'm gonna cut a 14-inch piece off of that, and that will be our door. It'll be longer than what we need, but that's okay. So I'm gonna use my rigid battery-powered saw. Hopefully it cuts through fine. We'll find out. So I don't know if you guys can see that. There is my loop. I just made the loop and tied an overhand knot on itself twice. So there's that. Now I stick this end through, unplug this. You guys can see that hole in the wheel in there, right in there. I'm gonna stick this through that, and then after you run it through that, then you run it through this loop, tie it tight, and then it'll start to wind itself up. And then this gets tied onto, I put the screw in there, make sure it's exactly halfway. And then, like I said, where did I put the clip? Oh, here's the clip. So you take this clip, so this gets tied onto here, this gets clipped onto here, so that if something happens and it gets stuck, this pulls off, saving the motor. Okay, so we're hanging out in the coop. You guys can see over there, I've got an extension cord run up all the way along over here, hangs down right here. Then, let me just change the camera. I have a small eye bolt right here. So I'm going to use that for in a second. Okay, the door is attached, or it's put in place. I ripped a 1x4 and set it so that it runs like guide rails for the door. I left enough, I didn't put it tight so that it's got room to kind of wobble a little bit, so that'll come up and down. Now it travels more than 10 inches, So I put this up more than 10 inches. I put it 24 inches up. I'm hoping that's going to be a-okay. Put the bracket there. I'm going to go ahead and take this and slide it. See if I can do this while I'm doing it. Slide it up in here like that, and then push that button to hold it in. Okay, so that's in. You can see I've tied on the string. It's right there. So I'm gonna plug this in. We'll power it on. This should come down, and then I can start adjusting how far it travels. That's the plan. I can plug this in and hold it at the same time. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's not on. That's why. Okay, good. That's all right. So I don't have the timer on right now. So let's just plug it in straight away like this. And there it goes. It's dropping. Okay, that's all the way out. So we don't need it that far. Okay, I'm gonna need 2 hands to do this. I'll be right back. I've been playing with it for a little while. The chickens are getting upset with me for being in here messing around. But right now, I got a problem. Let me show you. I plug this in. They're understandably concerned. I've built a chicken guillotine. I've sanded off all the edges, rounded everything off. It says it can do between 1 and 10 pounds. I can't believe that thing weighs 10 pounds. I've pulled it up a bunch of different ways. I can't find why, like if it's catching on anything, I can't find it. It says not to tie it directly to the screw. I may try that and see what happens, at the risk of ruining my motor. But right now, I gotta get in for dinner, so I'll check back with you guys when I check back with this. Hey guys, I ate dinner. I'm out here hanging with the ladies. Say hi, ladies. How's it going? Yeah. So I had some time to think about it, and I switched out the clip. I got a clip from one of the tractor pins. It's a little bit stronger clip, but it should still give way before the motor gets hurt, I think. So far, so good. Let's turn you guys around and we can take a look at it. Up right now, you can see it's a bigger clip. All the way down and stop. Perfect, right? Okay, now we're gonna unplug it here, plug it back in, and here we go. Moment of truth. See, like it had a little hitch there. I don't know if it's just the way I tied it on there, but it works. It's up and it's holding. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use that little eye bolt that I put right up there and some zip ties, and I'm gonna try to get this cord out of the way so that it's not, because right now I don't like the design. I wish the power were on top of this instead of the bottom, because right now it's right next to where this is. So if it were to get in here and get, tied up, that would be a problem. But I'm gonna use some zip ties and get that figured out. And then I have this timer out here that I can turn on and off as many times as I want. So in the morning I'll have it on and off, and then in the evening I'll have it on and off. In the evening I'll leave it on longer because I want to turn the light on with it as well. This light. Although I'm going to leave the light unplugged for now because it's light enough during the day I don't need the light on. So I'm just going to use this. In the winter I'll be able to turn that on. Anyway, that's the plan. I will show you guys once I get it zip tied up. Okay, so I've got it zip tied up here, so that kind of sits on the ledge so it's not pulling on it. And then I used a twist tie, you guys can see that, twist tie here to keep that all tied up there. I tried to run the cord back behind, I don't know if you guys can see that, so that it stays out of the way of the fishing line, and hopefully that works. So now I need to plug this in to my timer here and have the timer set to go on and off a little bit after dark. So let me get on my phone and see what time dark is, then we'll set this, and then we'll check it in the morning. Okay, according to Weather Underground, last light, if you guys can see that, is at 8:30. Sunset is at 8:01. Let's go ahead and set this for 9 o'clock, and that'll give us an extra half an hour. And so what we need to do is, it is 5:53 right now. That's about right. So let's set it for 9:30. So I think the power just actually came on, because I think pushed in is on. So let's turn this all off like that. Now we'll say at 9:30 we want it to come on and then go off again. And then in the morning we'll say at 9 o'clock we want it to go on and off again. I want that one on, not that one. Come on. There we go. Okay. So hopefully that works. I think it will. On, off, on, off. Well, we'll find out. Okay, this will come as no surprise to those of you who have chickens. But chickens are not the brightest animals on the farm. So we'll come out and check that tonight. I'm gonna leave the door open that they're used to, because otherwise they'd all just bunch there because they wouldn't know to come out the backside, which is fine. But then I'll start having them go out the back door, assuming that it opens up like it's supposed to in the morning, and then leaving that door, the man door, closed so that they get used to going in and coming out through the chicken door. So I'll see you guys later tonight, and then we'll see you guys in the morning and we'll finish up the video. Okay guys, it's like 10 o'clock and you can see the door is down. It is where it's supposed to be. So we will we'll come in here in the morning and see if it goes back up like it's supposed to, and if it doesn't guillotine any chickens. So far so good. We'll see what happens in the morning. I wish I could show you guys the stars on this camera. They are ridiculously bright and ridiculously clear, just super crisp. It is amazing to look at. But since I can't, I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. So it's the next morning, and it is, I don't know, like 9:30. You hear that? There's chickens out. So either the door got blown open. I can talk. Which I can see the door did not get blown open. Which means that some of the chickens must have found their way out through the automatic door. Trying to look through the glass. Oh yeah, it's open. Yeah, buddy. That's awesome. Let's turn you guys around and you can take a look. Now, I will tell you that there are going to be chickens in here who will refuse to go through the chicken door for a while. Because that's just what they do. So, I'm going to probably leave this front door closed. I'll probably put some food over by the chicken door so that they start realizing, hey, I need to go through that door, so that I don't have to come out and let them out. They figure it out. But you can see, big boy, he's our biggest rooster. I don't know if you guys can see. He's black. He's an Australorp, but he is just, the sun, I don't know if the camera will do him any justice, but the sun just makes him turn green, iridescent green. So let me turn you guys around. I'll show you the door open and close the video. Okay, so I don't know if you can see through the dirty window. See, it's open in there. But you'll look, there'll be a bunch of chickens in here who are going to be like clamoring to get out because they don't realize that they can get out through that door. So I'm going to actually close this back up and go put some feed over there. So I told you guys, chickens are not the smartest animals on the homestead, and that holds true. So what I'm going to do here, and let me show you. I just took some shelf liner paper and cut it into strips to make flaps so that the wind doesn't blow straight through there, the rain doesn't blow straight through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put some feed over here, put some feed here, put some feed around here on the ground, and hopefully what I might do, might just flip up one of these flaps like this so they can see. I can just get it to tuck in here maybe. I'm gonna need 2 hands. I'll be right back. Oh, maybe not. So yeah, so like that. So they kind of see out here and see that I put some feed out here. Let's watch and see if that works. Okay, I flipped up another tab. You can see they're starting to figure it out. And it's like the 3rd or 4th chicken who's come out there. I'm gonna leave the man door closed for a while. Go do some chores, and then I'll come back in a little while and open that door so that the chickens who are slow on the uptake can get out and range around. Like I said, I'm pretty sure tonight when I go, because I'll leave that door closed, when I go to close them up tonight, there will be a pile of chickens sitting by that front door because that's what they're used to coming in. And I'll probably find more eggs laid out and about because they forget how to get back into the coop. So it'll be a process, which is why we start now instead of in the summer when we may have a couple days to go places. So you guys can see me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, I just try to make the little improvements all the time. This will be a huge improvement, and it'll make things so much easier when we have somebody watch the homestead. So thanks so much for watching. God bless you and your family. If you got questions, leave them in the comments. Click on that thumbs up, the bell notification, leave a comment, and again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.